barefoot too, you know, growing up. That's how we used to do it. You know, I would say I grew up poor, but I didn't know. I didn't know what poverty was, to be honest with you, because the truth is, growing up, I could go anywhere to any family or family friend house and have dinner if I if none was at home. And that was the kind of community, a community that, you know, everybody, you know, looks out for you. You know, the community raised me, to be honest with you. I remember there were evenings as a youth, you know, growing up. I couldn't make 6 o'clock catch me on the road like 6 p.m. There's somebody, it doesn't have to be a family member, just anybody from the community would kind of discipline us in that way to make sure, you know, let us know that, hey, you can't be on the road at this time. You have to be home. And that was the kind of lifestyle, the kind of way I grew up, and yeah, that was step me for me, you know? Yeah.
No, can you share a memory or moment that you have with mommy and daddy that still stick with you to this very day?
Well, I didn't get to grow up with my daddy like that, so I don't have much memory of, you know, with me and him. But, you know, for sure, one memory that I will never forget with mommy is this one time when she's supposed to wash some clothes, right? And we don't have running water. It's like if you want to catch water, then you have to go to a neighbor's house, or you'd have to go to the parish tank and catch water. And I remember the drum at home was half full, you know, and I don't know what fly up in my head. You know, I was hot the day and decided that, hey, this is the water that you used to clean and wash and everything like that. So I'm gonna just take a dip, and we kind of mess up the water, you know. And when she reached home, we get some real beating because I couldn't come up with anything that made sense, you know, to tell her, you know. And we get a proper spanking. Plus the day me have to wash my clothes them too, you know. I mean, they have to go catch water myself at the parish tank and come back and wash my own clothes. So that is something I would never ever forget. You know, it's still stay in my memory. I remember even when I've sung that I did for her. We did the music video and we played back that same moment in the video as well. You know? So that's something that I will never ever forget.
No, like having gone through that life where the community rallied around you, you are no stranger to seeing people around you work hard and working hard yourself.
Yeah.
What impact did that have on you as you grew up as a child in terms of, having your own morals and value system?
Yeah, I mean, everybody, you know, in my family, somebody's always doing something. You know, I grew up around an uncle as well who was either he's on the farm if he's in Jamaica, or he's out there in the world, you know, trying to make a life for himself. You know, I grew up seeing my mommy doing the same thing. When I was 10, 11, at that time she started going on the work program where she would spend like 6 months overseas and come back. You know, just my entire family are people who believe in working hard, you know, and most of them are people who work on the farm, you know, on their little farm in Stepney, and that is how we sometimes get to eat food. And it's a community that believe in farming, believe in cultivating and producing and taking to the market. You know, that's the kind of surrounding I'm around. So most definitely that would impact me in a positive way, you know, to show me that, hey, if you want something, then you'll have to go out there and work for it. You know, nobody's going to hand it to you. You'll have to work and work and work until you reach that goal. And I must say, I'm grateful for growing up like that, growing up, you know, not having it, but seeing people around me who want it and trying to reach their goals, you know, kind of give me that push to say, hey, you know, if you want something, if you want to be an artist, then you'll have to do what it takes. You'll have to step out there, you know, and sometimes fear can hold us back, you know, especially coming from a rural community. You know, the mere fact that you know we don't get a lot of exposure to the world, to see everything that is going on out there, and so open our minds for us to know that, hey, you can achieve things, but you just have to step out there. You just have to get out of that zone that you feel like, hey, because I'm from the countryside, I can't do this and I won't be able to achieve this. Once you put your mind and put your foot out there, definitely. So I give thanks for the kind of background that I'm coming from. It's as I say, who feels it knows it. I grew up seeing barbers in my community. I grew up seeing farmers and everybody who would I call hustler, just doing their thing, and it is a big motivation for me. So big up to the people at Stepney right now who are listening. They don't know.
Right?
Large.
And I tell you, Stepney was texting in the minute the program started at 10 a.m.
Yeah,
So
man.
big up, of
Yeah,
course,
man.
rightfully so. What you have just outlined for us, Romain, are valuable lessons that normally, you will not get in a classroom setting. Nonetheless,
Yeah.
how would you describe Romain Virgo, the student? What were you like in high school?
I believe I was a good student, and I believe the teachers would say the same thing. I can't remember myself, giving trouble. And it's amazing to me because if I can backtrack a little bit, I could say, from most of the times while I was in high school, that was the same time mommy started doing the work program. So there wasn't anyone around who was like really strict with school to say, hey, stay on top of your game. And it was just a mindset, wanting to get out, and so, going to school, I didn't want to play around with the money that she was working so hard, for us to go to school and take care of ourselves. I didn't want to mess around with that. And therefore, I had to find myself around friends who were, brighter than me, were much more, advanced.
Brilliant,
And that was how I was able to do well in some subject areas that I wasn't good at. Big up to my friend Khalil and Renardo and Darren and Chooks and everybody that was in high school who helped me and understand where I was at the time too. And that was me in school. I was a prefect in high school. Yeah. Yeah, one of the time me feel like me don't even turn the head boy at school, But
nice.
I believe I was a good student. I tried my best. I wasn't the brightest, but I was willing to give it a try, and no matter how hard it was, and that was it. Big up to about that girl in my high school, my school, the best school in the world. I know a lot of people are gonna say, hey, but to me, I wouldn't trade anything. I wouldn't change that. If I could get the opportunity to do it again, I would still go to a button again more, because what it does, it kind of come with this humility at the same time. It's not a school that a lot of students would want to say, I want to pass for a button again in my high school. Because I remember when I passed for that school, I didn't feel happy. But the moment I started going there and I see the kind of school it is, the kind of teachers that were there, just how close it was to home, it helped me. It helped us in so many ways that I wasn't thinking about, because then, you can just imagine, fear to go to school, lunch money to go to school if it was much further from home. So I grew to appreciate it so much, and especially teachers, they're amazing teachers. So if you should call somebody there, even the principal, Mr. Sharp at the time, maybe he would tell you that I was,
good reviews.
a good student.
At what point did you fell in love with music, or got exposed to it, or knew that you could sing?
I was singing in church one morning. It was after devotion, or what you would call Sunday school. Sorry, I went up there because I whenever church is empty and you sing, then you will hear the echoes inside the church.
Yeah.
And one morning I went up there, just grabbed the mic, and I was singing. And a guy called, his name is Richard. He was a member of the church. He came and he was saying, "You can really sing." I think I was singing Sanchez Amazing Grace. And I wasn't singing like I wanted to impress anybody. I was just there messing around with the mic. And he said, you can really sing, and they invited me to sing at one Sunday service, and when I sang there, everybody was in spirit, everybody. It was just amazing just to see how the reaction from the congregation that Sunday. And ever since that moment, I was singing at every concert in my community. I was singing at concerts in nearby communities, and that led me to, I performed in high school after one teacher who was from a close by community saw me at some concert.
Mm-hmm.
The moment I got to high school, she said she wanted me to sing at one of her devotion. Her name is Miss Pattison. And I sang at devotion one morning, and that was it. That was like a real boss in high school. Everybody know in high school know that, hey, Romain can sing. And I became this little, you could call it superstar in high school. Everybody had me as their singer, and that was where it started. JCDC festivals. I went there. I won so many gold medals from my school. I was in speech and drama at the same time too. So, everything just came along, to just make everything perfect at the time for me.
No, at the age of 16, you participated in the All Together Sing competition. By the time you were 17, you won the Digicel Rising Stars competition in 2007. How did these two defining moments in your musical career help to shape the performer that you are today?
Yes, I would say it helped with my growth in so many ways. I was very shy. I remember Altogether Sing, just thinking about seeing the camera and knowing that the entire Jamaica was looking at me now and looking at my school, and the expectation was so high because everybody home as me as their hero, their singer, and this was our first major exposure as a high school now. A lot of people around Jamaica was asking, where's this school from? Some people couldn't even pronounce the name of Bothnat Gallimore when you tell them, we're from a Bothnat Gallimore high school. And as I said, we were so shy. That was a part of our biggest part of our growth. Trying to break out of that shell. Because when you see other schools like Oberlin and all of the other schools that would be more exposed, they really and truly showed us what it means to really and truly break away from something like that. So with performing over and over and getting good comments, getting some criticisms that would definitely we would look at and help to build our character and just our performance going forward. I would say over that year, Altogether Sing helped me to grow in so many ways, in lifting my confidence some more. At the time I didn't see myself as I didn't see myself at a point where I feel like I was comfortable and I could say yes, I'm there now. I was still shy. So Rising Stars was, I tell a lot of people, like, I feel like there was so much more I could give in Rising Stars. And a lot of people were saying, no man, you did extremely well, but inside myself I know that I could do better. There was room for so much more improvement if I could get over this fear, this thing that I mentioned earlier, knowing that I'm from the countryside and feeling like a country youth will always have it hard. And, if only I could just get over that fear, I feel like, the impact that I made back then would probably be so much greater. So these are shows that help me to build character, to build personality, and to get over that shyness and just to believe in myself some more. You help me to understand that, hey, if you push hard, Romain, you can definitely make it. And with each step, with each door opening, I realize that, hey, this is the road that you're gonna have to take on. I believe that, the Almighty chose this road for me, and I just have to step up and be brave and find the courage to do it.
So were you just giving yourself like, positive self-talk, or did you have a mentor during that process, guiding you along the way to say, look, step outside of fear, you have to
Mhm.
face your fears, you have to overcome the shyness, or was it just all you and positive self-talk?
Yeah, I did. I had people in high school who were behind me 100%. My teacher, my
Mm-hmm.
music teacher, Mr. Cross, Miss Garden, um, may her soul rest in peace. There are so many teachers at school who were there, who wanted
Mm-hmm.
to see me win, and they would push me. But there's a thing where if you they can push you as much as they can, but if you as a person don't
Mm-hmm.
find that or can't see that, then the moment you go on stage, and you see the judges or you see the crowd or you see the cameras, everything that
Oh.
they tell you will just disappear. So you have to find that as a person as well. It was a lesson for me, to show me that no matter who come along and push you, if you don't find that strength within to push yourself at the end of the day, then you won't be able to do what you're supposed to do. So big
Mm-hmm.
up to everybody. My entire community was behind me during Rising Star as well, and I was still nervous. There are people in who they put in place to help us with performance and just to get over all the fear, and that didn't help. I feel like there was this big thing over me just telling me that, hey, you're from the country, and
Mm-hmm.
that was something that I couldn't understand it.
So how did
and
you eventually shed it? How you shed
yeah,
that cloud?
eventually over time, I shed it, and I can just imagine so many youths from places like where I'm from who probably have so many talent in different areas, maybe not just music but other areas, but just the fear, of saying where they come from. They might just mention that I'm from up in the hills of St. Anne or wherever, and then they would probably believe that people will not give them an
Mm-hmm.
opportunity, or you know whatever reason, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
happy today. I can say that I kind of shake that off, and I'm not at the point where I would say I'm comfortable yet, because there's still so much room for improvement and for growth. But I believe that I'm getting there step by step each day.
Mm-hmm. And just like that, after the competition, now you found yourself at Penthouse Records, which is like a musical university that has
Yeah.
helped to nurture the careers of so many top entertainers and produce mega hits for the likes of Buju Banton, Beres Hammond, Marcia Griffiths, and Wayne Wonder, among many others. How did this significant period of your life around Donovan Germain help to shape the entertainer that you are?
Yeah, big up to Donovan Jermaine from Penthouse. He was like a father to me when I started out, because and I have to big him up, because he was the only producer at the time who was
Mm-hmm.
brave enough to give me a chance. Because
Wow.
coming out of Rising Stars, a lot of producers would look at us and say, hey, they just went on a show, sing over some songs, and Jamaica fall in love with them. But do they have real talent? I know that there were producers who would say that for sure. So he was brave enough to give me an opportunity. I remember he mentioned to me when I got there that Tony Rebel was the person who saw me on Rising Star and was telling him about me even before I
Mm-hmm.
won the competition, that hey, there's this youth who's on Rising Stars. I feel like you need to voice him whenever the whole thing is over. So big up to Tony Rebel at the same time. And just going there and just being myself. The first thing I remember he told me back then was, hey, you see that Rising Star thing? I want you to leave it at the gate, because when you come inside here,
Why is that?
yeah, when you come inside there is serious work now, and
Mm-hmm.
I remember at that moment, I was saying to myself, yeah, maybe this is something that I needed to push me even harder. Somebody who
Mm-hmm.
who is not just
No
the kind who will
nonsense.
be soft with you and tell you all the
Yes.
nice things that you need to hear, but somebody will just tell you the truth right away. He represented that in the earlier days, and I appreciated that so much. He when it comes down to recording, I would just be there at the studio. I had enough time to make corrections to most of the things that I didn't understand, to voice a song and come back at the studio and fix it. At that time I was leaving from Stepney to Kingston every Wednesday.
Whoa.
So when I come in Kingston at the time, I had to make sure that the song was right, so that I don't have to go back home and come back home to fix it, because at that time I was still trying to figure out how I was gonna do music, living in Stepney, and that's when I realized that, hey, maybe coming to Kingston is
It's
a perfect
better.
thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time I was applying for Edna Manley College, and I was stayed. So I got the opportunity to live and down there at Edna Manley, and to go to studio, back and forth. But Donovan Germain, it was such an important part of my career in terms of growth and giving me that platform
Mm-hmm.
that big stage. I would see this Penthouse studio as a big stage. So just to walk in that studio, as I mentioned, people like Buju Banton, Master Griffiths, Barry Salmon, Wayne
Mm-hmm.
Wonder, Agent Sasko, Busy Signal. These are just a few of the names that would walk through those doors and voice. So to get that opportunity was a big deal for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe I made use of the opportunity. When I wrote Can't Sleep and carried and took it to him, he was saying that, I remember he said, there's just one thing that I'm concerned and I'm worried about with young artists is
Mm-hmm.
when they find a song, they're not able to hold things together and to focus and work on others. And that was the
Mm-hmm.
moment, I know that, hey, I have a song, because I didn't know that the song would be a big song, but he saw that. So,
Yeah,
and I
exactly.
figured that's why he was mentioning things like these. And in the back of my head, I was saying to him, my driver, Fire, big up Fire at the time. He was the one who was carrying me around.
Back and
I was
forth.
saying to him, I feel like I could find the song. I feel like I could find the first song, because based on what Donovan German is saying, maybe
This
we
is it.
found the song. And so said, so it was. And Can't See was the first big one for me.
But how did you manage though? Because that all of this was around 2008. Here it is. You found Can't Sleep, your breakout song, and you enrolled in Edna Manley
Mm-hmm.
College of Visual and Performing Arts. How were you able to balance music and school when the two things are so demanding?
Trust me, I tried. That's
Mm-hmm.
the thing. I didn't want to just say, hey, no music, no, and step toward me, or say, hey, man, I'm gonna put school on pause, on pause, and then work on music. I wanted to see how best I could balance both. And while I was there at college, I realized how demanding, as I said, it would be, because then it wasn't just about recording, but shows were coming in. There were people who were requesting shows all over, and not just not just locally, but internationally as well. When I found Can't Sleep, and it was such a struggle to keep up with both. I was even trying to set up some online thing with my school at the time, and it just couldn't work. And I was looking at myself, and saying that, getting a break in the industry can sometimes be a one time thing, and you just have to make use of the opportunity. And so I was right there in between, trying to make the decision, what, whether it was school now or it was going to
Mm-hmm.
be music. As I said, I was really trying. I remember being on tour and trying to get information from some of my friends at school. But,
Mm-hmm.
being at Edaman, it's such a practical, you have to be there to get it, especially if you're
Mm-hmm.
learning an instrument. You just had to be there, so it didn't work out. And I didn't want to miss this opportunity, as you know how it can be, moving from rising stars to becoming an artist.
Mm-hmm.
I was
That
getting the opportunity
transition.
now that I
Mm-hmm.
found Can't Sleep and all the other songs that Who Feels It Knows It and everything that was coming at the time. I didn't want to miss out. So I said, hey, maybe what I could do is just push through with my musical career now, and then at some point just go back in and see if I can finish up with school. And even though I didn't, even though I don't get that opportunity yet to really and truly go back and finish, it is something that is still there that I want to go back and do. I'm at home nowadays trying to learn a few things on my own based on what I learned there at Edna Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was rough. It was a tough decision to make, but I had to do what I had to do at the time.
Mm-hmm. And of course, your parent, your mom was supportive of your decision at that
Yeah,
point.
man,
I
because
understood
I remember when I
exactly
was
why
entering
you
Rising
decided.
Stars at the time, I was
Mm-hmm.
telling her that I wanted to go to Edna Monday College. And she was saying, but where me I get the money from to send you to school? And we just run a joke. I said, oh, in Rising Stars, man, I'm paying the school fee. And it happened out
Wow,
of, yeah, out of
amazing.
just saying it,
Mm-hmm.
and taking the chance. It happened. So, she's proud. Whatever I said I want, whatever I say I want to do, she's somebody that supports, and that is very important for anybody at all,
Mm-hmm.
any child out there that wants to reach somewhere in life. When you have parents or guardians behind you that supports your move, it is very
It's
important because
awesome.
what it do, give you that confidence and that level of comfort to know that, hey, if mommy
Mm-hmm.
says go for this, then who is anybody else to tell you that you can't go for it? So that was a very important part of my world, growing up.
And on that note, we're going to go for a quick break. So don't go anywhere, Romain. For persons who are just joining
Yeah.
us, you missed a whole segment. It is all about Road to Success, the journey, a feature inside the Easy Skanking that is geared to inspire, uplift, educate, motivate, and entertain. Today, we are journeying with Romain Virgo. But in the meantime, listen up your top draw dollars. Pick 2, pick 3, pick 4, hot pick, and cash pot lunchtime draws up next.
You are what you drink. Your premium. Enjoy Heineken specials at your favorite bars. Drink responsibly. Socialize responsibly. The time by Heineken is
It is now 12:59.
Welcome to be
Yeah.
directed to Jamaica's national development. When
Yeah,
you pay
probably
your
go much
customs
square foot
duties,
again.
let's all do our part in keeping the wheels
40
of our
minutes.
economy turning. The temperature by the
Yeah,
Jamaica
so much
Customs Agency
less.
is
I'll try, man. Oh, yes, man.
It is nice and cool. I
Did
don't
we?
Infused
have.
island fresh with aloe vera.
I
It
will try,
make
man.
your skin feel
Remember, I
softer and
say,
smoother.
I
So
only for
if you
people that
want to
look
feel
forward
better
to,
and
to
smell
see me
fresher,
actually
use
finish school to
island
so.
fresh with aloe vera.
Something where
manufactured by Island Products
we need to try and get.
9340666.
the
You know
top
what I got
draw.
more weight. People,
It is now 1 o'clock
no,
and
man, I would have
39
people,
by. So
bro,
listen
there's so
up.
many
Your
people who ask me,
what
you
next?
used to have me, yo, how about school, Yeah, but I'm saying, yeah, man, come on, do it. Really, I truly want to do it, come on, learn. If you we can't find the time, man. Believe in yourself, man.
And observed by the independent auditing firm PwC. And now let's put some money in
It's
our
so like shadow pressure,
jar.
boy. Who can
This
learn?
afternoon's top draw jackpot is
That's
back
good.
at
Body square footage.
$200,000. So congrats to our mid-morning winner. Here now are your winning top draw numbers. And for Money Upon Top for Money, the first top draw number coming your way is number 9. Now the next top draw number coming up is 21. What is next? Let's see. It is the number 19. Now the fourth top draw number making its way down is 14. And our final top draw number for $200,000 is lucky number 7. And now let's pick your play with our dollars game. So I hope you're feeling lucky. Here goes. And this afternoon's winning lunchtime dollars numbers are coming right down. First up, we have 36. Now, 36 is followed by solid number 30. Now, what is next? It is 16. Following 16, we have the number 7. And right after 7 comes 13. Now, the next dollars number this afternoon is number 2. And of course, we're halfway there. Now, we're counting to the number 3. Right after 3, what will it be? It is 23. Following 23, we have the number
Nico!
29. And next in line, we have 35. 35 is followed by 33. And of course, we wrap things up this afternoon in our lunchtime dollars game with the number 9. And now for some easy winnings with our pick 2 game. So get those tickets out and let's play. Now, the first pick 2 number coming your way is the number 26. And our second pick 2 number is 8. So once again, the win pick 2 numbers are 26 and 8. Up next, you can play it 3 ways. The game you can play straight, mixed, and of course, just back it up. Here we go. And the first pick 3 number this afternoon is the number 1.
Yes.
Now the second pick 3 number is 4. And our third and final pick 3 number coming your way is 0. So once again, the win pick 3 numbers are 1, 4, and 0. It is now time to total up your winnings. So get ready for a pick 4 game. And of course, you know it, the balls are bubbling up. So first up, we have a 7. Now the second pick 4 number is the number 3. And our third pick 4 number this afternoon is 2. And our final pick 4 number coming your way is the number 9. So once again, the winning pick 4 numbers are 7, 3, 2, and 9. Now, it's easy for wins, so let's spice things up with our hot pick game. And this afternoon's winning hot pick number is lucky number 6. Congratulations, all our hot pick winners. Again, the winning number is 6. Now get on track because Cashpot Money Trainer Run. Every week you have a mystery prize. Now, this week you can win $290 for every $10 winning Cashpot bet. So board the train and collect your winnings. Let's get ready to play our Cashpot game for Thursday, July 8, 2021. Now you live to play, but can you win it? Let's get ready to be a big Cashpot winner. And this afternoon's winning Cashpot number is 14. Congratulations, all our Cashpot winners. Again, the winning number is 14. It is now time for some mega winnings, so good luck. And what is going to be? And a white ball has been selected, so go mega 6 times per day for more chances to win big. Again, the winning Cashpot number is 14, Lucky Mark Mouth. And of course, the white ball was selected for both Cashpot and Hot Pick. And now let's take a look at this afternoon's winning numbers. And of course, a big congrats to everyone who won. Now, please be reminded that we're still under the supervision of BJLC and PWC. So please make sure you come back at 3 p.m. for more games you love to play. I'm Carrie Ann. Have a supreme afternoon.
Hope you were a big winner. Play your favorite Supreme Ventures games every day and tune in for our live draw 6 times a day at 8:30 a.m., 10:30 a.m., 1 p.m., 3 p.m., 5 p.m., and 8:25 p.m. on this station. Supreme Ventures, making winners every day.
That was the lunchtime top draw dollars, pick 2, pick 3, pick 4, hot pick, and Cashpot draws. Congratulations to all of today's winners. Join us again at 3 p.m. for another chance to win in hot pick and Cashpot special pot draws.
And now I'm sending this one across the nation.
And if you're just joining us, it's all about Road to Success, the journey. A feature inside the Easy Skanking that is geared to inspire, uplift, educate, motivate, and entertain. And today we are journeying with ROMAIN Virgo. Now, ROMAIN, back to the conversation, and thank you so much for waiting.
No problem, man.
Was there ever a moment on your journey that you just, felt like giving up, or you thought that it wasn't going to work, and how did you deal with it?
There are moments, to be honest with you. I can go as far back as after Rising Stars, because even though I can't sleep at the time, and it was out and it was getting some radio plays here and there. I remember there are people, whenever I walk in the streets, people would say, yo, what go on from your window now, you're nothing. And just sometimes those words can really and truly make you feel a way inside of yourself, and especially knowing that you're working hard. So it just goes to show that sometimes you have to just continue to do what you're doing until it catch. If you listen to every voice out there and try to please everybody at the same time, then you'll put yourself under some pressure that you probably sometime won't be able to come back from. So I remember back then I used to take those words seriously, like, hey, why not hear nothing from you? And at the time I know that I was working so hard in the studio. I was trying to do school at the same time, and there was so much that I was trying, but that is the expectation coming from a competition like that. People wanted to see you hit the ground running. And unfortunately, that doesn't happen for anybody at all. You have to, first of all, find yourself around the right people. And a lot of us aren't lucky enough to just get ourselves around people who probably want to work with us and who have the right links, who can make, because we all have talent, but sometimes we don't find people who love what you do and will just go above and beyond to get things done for you, then sometimes it won't happen. So I remember back then, I used to feel like just giving up. And I remember Vikings and Omar Brown, you know Vikings, they came on board, and, it really and truly changed a lot, because they were people who believe in just going out there, meeting people, just trying to get them the music and tell them about it. I see Vikings in the streets already just giving out CDs, say, listen, I'm an artist, this, and we just want you to play song. As somebody who, willing to go to Stone Love or whichever dance at the time and just give out CDs to DJs. And, if it wasn't for people like Vikings and Omar and Pete, who were by my side back then maybe I would have given up and gone back a step and try something else, So, and even now, just trying to grow sometime, trying to take on new directions and to grow in the music. Sometimes when they put out some songs, it would feel like, people aren't accepting them, or people don't, they're not taking on to the songs the way you want them to take on to them as they would for other music. And it can become discouraging at times, to be honest with you. So sometimes if it's not, as I said, you just have people who can reason with you and just get your head back in the space where it should be, because, sometimes, you get caught up in listening to yourself so much that you forgot everything, all the blessings, and even where you're coming from, you will forget that too sometimes. Like, hey, remember you were the little youth from Semi used to run the streets and kick football and beer, as I said, barefoot earlier. And you make you forget them thing there, and, you just need somebody, a friend, big up to my cousin Damien who's listening right now. A while ago he messaged me and told me, say, man, listen to the whole story, and because you know where I come from, tears are flow time eyes. So if you don't have people like them, family members who really and truly love you genuinely, and want to see you grow, and as I said, I manage a team of people who, just want to see you shine, want to see you win, and will do anything to see that happen, and will continue to pump positive energy in you, then you can break down and definitely, will probably hinder you from achieving your goals.
You mentioned briefly, like creating songs and wondering if it will resonate with people, because, you may make a song and you really love the song and you give it your all, but then the reception is something different. Does that still bother you? And also talk to us a little bit about your creative process, like when you're in your zone making music. What are some of the factors that you consider in making the magic happen for ROMAIN?
Yes, it does. It still happen like up until today, because and I think it's because of the love that I have for the music, and wanting to just grow, and then when for example, when you're in the street sometime, and then you would see the people who are part of the industry who would come up to you and say, hey, you're the next this, or you're the next that, and we love what you're doing, and continue to do what you're doing, but sometimes you don't feel the support from the same people who are telling you all of this. It can make you feel like, so what am I creating for then? If I am, if you say that I'm going to be the next this or the next that, then the only way I can achieve my goals is if you support me and support what I do, because I do believe that I create good music. So that can break you, but you just have to find the strength, as I say, it's just listening to the people around, Nico, listening to Viking, listening to Donovan, Jeremy, listening to everybody that is a part of my team who continues to say, hey, listen, and every song will be a hit song, and every song will connect with the people that the way you want it to connect. But once you connect with somebody, once a message reaches somebody out there, then you should see that as achieving, as winning, and that is something that I have to constantly remind myself of. That is not everything that we do is gonna become the biggest thing, but we just have to continue working. If I put out something and I see nobody at all say anything about it, then that would be call for concern.
Mm-hmm.
But once there's somebody who say, hey, I love this, continue, this song motivate me, this song uplifts my spirit, you speak the truth in this song is real to me, I've been through this situation. If it is that one person, then I feel like I win, and that is the kind of mindset that I have to constantly remind myself nowadays and try to go with, in creating. You asked me about my creation process.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays especially, I try to just stay as true as possible to myself in what I write, in what I create. There are times that I would listen to some of my favorite singers and say, hey, I want to write a song like this. And most times when I do it like that, it's not coming from a real place. So I guess the believability behind it from people who are listening, is not there.
Mm-hmm.
Like when it's coming from a real place. So when I did Can't Sleep, it was how I genuinely feel about the country at the time. And I did Who Feels It Knows It. It was coming from a real place because I Stepney and where I'm coming from. And sometimes I have to, as I said, draw back on moments like those. Why did that song work? And kind of tap back into to that in the present. So I'm just trying to stay as true as possible to myself. Most of the music I'm working on, especially since my last album, are music from a genuine place, things that I've been through, things that I see going on, and just want to tell the truth, as just as it is, no sugarcoat. Just if it is going to turn out to be something simple in terms of the lyrics, then let it be simple. But once it is true and it is coming from right here, then that will mean the world to me. And that is how I create nowadays. I write how I feel, I write how the inspiration come to me, and it seems to be even working more with the people nowadays.
Because even with Dirty Man, it's
Yeah.
a powerful song, a great collaboration with Tashay, that tackles the serious topic of sexual abuse against our children, and there was also a charity element to it, where the donation from proceeds of the song was given to Eve for Life, which is a local non-governmental organization which supports and empowers survivors of sexual violence and women and children living with or affected by HIV/AIDS. What actually sparked the humanitarian in you to make that connection, to have that donation from part proceeds from Dirty Man?
Yes. When I write songs like Dirty Man, as I say, it's coming from a genuine place. I believe that, it is my duty, not just as an artist, but as a human being, to stand up for what is right and what is just. And so, being an artist and know the power that it comes with, we can't abuse our power or just use it for our own benefit. Once we're making some money, then it's fine. So we will continue to write music that will entertain, and hopefully we'll get some shows, or I'll make some money from it. I can't look at music that way. I can't look at life that way, because I am human, and I believe that I should speak the truth, and I should stand up for justice in every way possible, in every single way that I can. So hence even the very first song, Can't See, that I came out with, and as I say, having people like the team around me from Donovan, from the days of I still record with Donovan Jeremy, but from the days of Donovan Jeremy and Shane Brown, Vikings, Omar, right up to Nico, are people who constantly remind me of that person, how I started out and what I have to continue to do, because it is important. Everybody can be doing this. You have to walk your road, you have to stay in your lane. And that is what I've been doing. So when it comes to a song like Dirty Man, with everything that was going on around the country at the time, it was my duty. It was like a calling. No, you have to step up and you have to say something. You have to stand up for especially women and children now. And I remember when we were writing the song, we were concerned about using the word dirty. We were saying, I wonder if we should use this, or probably nice it up and say dirty man. But I believe that I believe that the power that the Almighty give me through music is to write a song exactly how it should go. Don't hold back. Once it is nothing that will what do you say now? Make anybody that shouldn't feel a way. Just write it. Just write from the heart. And I'm so happy the day that myself and Nico agreed and say, you know what, just sing it that way. The way it comes, just let it out like that. And as I say, it was my duty, and we went inside the studio. We make sure that exactly what we're saying are things that we knew for a fact were going on, and we were hitting the nails on top of the heads. We weren't, leaving anything out. We just wanted to put it plain and straight as it was. And my hope for the song that at the time was that it would be something like, like a national song, not just for Jamaica, but for the world. Something that people would hear the first thing they wake up in the morning on the radios, so that it would keep on reminding us. We wouldn't forget that there's this serious issue going on out there with our children. Especially with this whole pandemic that would follow the release of that song. It's such a tough time for our children around the world. They're locked up now, and these predators are just there, manipulating and just we know everything that they're going on with. So I at this time I just wanted the song to just be there, and not just when a situation happens, a child get molested, a child get raped, then somebody will take up the song and say, hey, yeah, we need to stop this. This is something that should be consistently in the face of of everybody. And I feel like because I feel like as our history as humans and as a country, sometimes I look back and I say to myself and even Nico that maybe most of these people who would maybe play the music, the people who would expect to stand up with us and represent, or maybe abusers themselves. So there's so much that comes with it, and there's so much to do, and sometimes even standing up, we know that can be, it can be a struggle if you don't have the support from everybody. So I just try to do my part, and I will always do my part, as I say, for standing up for the truth and representing the truth, and representing especially women and children. That has been me from day one. I've been in the music. If you listen to a song like Dark Skin Girl, No Make No Man Beat You Down, Beautiful, Dirty Man, come right up. There are so many songs that I consistently, try to, put focus on. And I never give up, no matter what. Whether the song becomes a big song, or people take it up and play it for a moment and then drop it, I just continue to push forward in that lane. And I'm very happy that I'm here and I'm still alive and still have breath to keep the journey that I'm on, to stay on that journey.
And you mentioned the pandemic. You also mentioned staying true to who you are, and that we can see, especially now. I mean, the pandemic basically has forced many of us to get creative, and
Yeah.
you did too. You are now a YouTube reality star. I mean, the creation of the Virgos, a YouTube reality series, that
Yeah.
gives Virgo Nation insights into your personal and daily life. Was
Yeah.
it challenging, Romain, to step outside of your comfort zone and let
Mhm.
fans in?
It is. As I mentioned, that I remember the very first video that we decided to post. It took us about an hour to make a 5 minutes video, and that was to show you how private we were, and
Mm-hmm.
it showed that trying to do something else at times can pose a challenge if you're not that person, but if you want to do something, you just have to take that first step. I remember after the first video and the reception that we got, it became easy as we go along. And the reason for the Virgos or Virgo Nation at the time was to lift the spirit of the people during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, they would hear about anything that I do either 6 months later or a year later. I remember when we got engaged, me and Liz, it
Mm-hmm.
was 6 months after people knew about it. When we got married, it was
Very
a year
fast.
after. It was 9 months after she got pregnant. And we believe that, with the love that everybody were pouring in over social media, that as a couple, as a family, we believe that it was only right for us to share some things with them through our YouTube channel. We can't share everything at the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
especially some real personal things. We know that we had to deal with that separately. We didn't want to bring that to the world to say, hey, we're going through this and whatever. We wanted to stay as real as possible with Virgo Nation, yes, but also as real as possible with ourselves, and not just let ourselves loose out there like that.
Mm-hmm.
So everything it was done with moderation. And so far we really and truly appreciate how the Virgo Nation, this new family, has been patient with us in everything that we do, in everything that we share. How the community continue to grow. Whenever I make mention of YouTube, I always have to big up Wayne and Tammy, because they're somebody
Mm-hmm.
who started doing it first, even though it was a part of me to do things like vlogging and a musical
Mm-hmm.
part before. But just seeing them do it from a family perspective, it gave us the confidence to say, hey, you can do it. So whole heap of love and respect
Awesome.
to them. They're a couple, they're a family that we really love and appreciate. And there are so many other YouTubers. As I said, everybody has their own lane and everybody has their own, path. So we watch other channels and we see what they do. We
Mm-hmm.
learn from everybody at the end of the day, and we continue to grow with the people. And through that same channel, that same yeah, channel, we were able to even introduce music to this newfound family, and it is going great so far. We really and truly appreciate the love that people continue to show. As I say, it was done from a point to
Mm-hmm.
motivate and to push people during the pandemic to just
And that you
put a
have
smile on their
succeeded.
faces and to see them wanting. Sometimes when they don't post, people are wondering what's up, if something is wrong with us. And we realize that this is maybe something that we're probably gonna have to continue. So,
Mm-hmm.
as I say, we just, in moderate ways, we take our time, and we're happy for the patience that they
Grow.
show with everything that we bring forward to them.
No, you spoke about, growing, and your family grew. Double the love, the diaper changes,
Yeah.
the all moments, everything in twos. Now, as a father of twins, what do you enjoy most about being a dad?
Ah, it would be something simple like just getting up every day and see them smile.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful thing. I love the fact that I get the opportunity to be there for them, and
Mm-hmm.
just to And the pandemic play a role too in that happening, you know, because if it wasn't for that, maybe I would be out there, you know, trying to,
Boring.
you know, as an artist, you know, performing. That is how we earn. So I'll probably be out there. So just to be there for them, to be there to wipe the tears if they cry, and just to give them that level of comfort, that level of security. You know, just being around them, it's just amazing. Like money can't buy that kind of love. It is something that words can't even explain. So I'm just forever grateful to the Almighty for sending Liz as the one that would be my wife, and to be their mother, who is also an excellent mommy as well. So it's just beautiful just to be there for them, be there for my family, and to watch them grow. It is amazing, and I can't, as I said, no amount of money cannot pay for that kind of love.
When a man hears or knows that his queen is expecting, normally the plan and preparation is for one. Did it take you by surprise when you learned that you have to prepare now for two?
Oh my gosh, it was such a surprise. Like when she told me that the doctor said it would be two, my head was like all over the place, because I was saying, you sure? Maybe them doesn't say something that is not a baby. Like, you're sure about this? Because she dropped, everything on me. At the same time, she was saying, yeah, something is happening, and he's now saying, it looks like it's two. So it was, I didn't, for people who were brave up, like, who was so close to us that I was telling at the time, like Nico and everybody else that was close to us, we were trying to just hold it together, because he was saying that most times something like this will start out as two and then it becomes one. So I was saying, you know what, let me not get too excited. Let me just hold it together. And as we go along and realize that it was real, then it does become natural as just preparing for two. So we know that everything that we were gonna get for these girls had to come, in pairs, So it was just amazing. It's a beautiful journey so far, and I know that going forward it will just continue to every day I see them do something new. It just blow my mind. So I'm just grateful, man. It's rough, because of how we have to schedule our time to make things work for them, but we're trying, and nothing beats a try.
You are both doing great. So big up yourself, big up Liz.
Yeah, man. Give thanks.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah. No, if anyone, I wanted to follow me with this line of reasoning now, right? Now,
yes.
If anyone would know how impactful a single word can be, it would be a Casanova like yourself, Romain, or a lyricist like Agent Sasco. You following me? So versus still?
Yes.
Based on the work that you have put in, what would you want your fans to say? Romain Virgo is so good, or the singer is still good? And of course, by the way, it was an awesome social media banter between you and Agent Sasco. But answer that first, and then we'll go to that.
Yeah, man. Big up Sasco every time. But I would prefer the fans to say Romain is so good. I would definitely prefer that.
No, talk to us now about Beautiful to Me. This song was created for your wife, Liz.
Yes.
How did the entire idea come about for that track, and what propelled you to say, boy, I have to put this into a song?
Yes, Beautiful to Me was written about 2 years ago. I remember the exact moment, but I don't remember the time of day. Whether it was a morning or afternoon, but we were going somewhere, and Liz was spending a little bit, too much time in the mirror in the bathroom, and I was saying, that your makeup take most of your time, but every time we're supposed to go on the road, right? And I said that out of fun, but it was true. It is true. And it is not like I have a problem with makeup, because that's how I met her, and there's nothing wrong with, the women putting themselves together, especially if they're going out. But I feel like, to me, at the time, it was taking a little bit too long. And so I decided to use that moment to write a song. I went on my piano at home and I was, kind of working out a few progressions and singing some melodies, and then came, beautiful to me. I sang it for her at the time, and she was laughing the whole time because she was saying that, it's a big lie I'm telling on her. But that was the start of it. I introduced "Beautiful to Me" to Virgo Nation, a couple of weeks in on our YouTube channel. And the moment I sang it, in the comments, everybody was saying, "Please, Romain, it is such a beautiful song. Please record that song." And we were saying to ourselves, what? Maybe we could take them on a journey just to show them what it is like, creating inside the studio. I called in myself and Nico. We called in musician. Riff was the first one. Riff is keyboard player, very, very good musician. He was the first person that we called in, to help us with the musical direction. Even though, we had the basic, from Jumpstart, but he was someone who was hearing so many other things that could go in terms of instrument, and so he helped us in getting to the point that we wanted to get at, and we brought, as I said, the Virgo Nation, this newfound family, with us on the journey, and they were loving it week after week. That we were showing them, we're here now. We just put on some harmony. We just created the rhythm. We just did this, and it just turned out to be a beautiful song. An even more beautiful song the moment we put it out there and said, "This is the final product." It is amazing just to see the love and the support that everybody is showing, especially the women.
Yes, it is indeed an awesome song. But where did the time go? Can't believe 1 hour burn up like that already.
Yes, I see it. I
So
see it.
so in closing, Romain,
Yeah.
the road to success is different for everyone. However,
Yes.
to attain success as somebody who has been there, and your personal journeys and your struggles
Yes.
and your challenges and how you had to overcome to get to where you are. Um, what are some successful habits that persons listening now locally and internationally who are on their journey and want to attain success?
The first thing I would say, don't let where you come from, define where you go in life. Because as I mentioned earlier on in the interview, I believe that's holding Stepney over my head and feeling like, sometimes a lot of people will say nobody good will come from, this place, or, sometimes if you believe that, then nothing will happen. So you just have to believe in self. You have to work hard. If you want to become a farmer, you have to assess yourself and push forward. Do everything in your power to achieve that goal. I believe that, you know, you know, my success was based on how I handled every single opportunity that came my way, um, from then till now. I made sure that I made use of every single opportunity, every show that I get to go on and perform. I gave it my best shot, and that's all it takes. Sometimes is just for you to make the very first step, and just give it your best shot, because only your best is good enough. And once you give it your best shot, then you don't have anything at all to worry about, because you don't have to look back and say, oh, if I did this or if I did try this. Give it your all. Anything that you want to become, just give it your all. So you have no regrets, nothing to look back at and say, I didn't do this, and maybe that is why I didn't get to reach my goal. So just believe in yourself. You will always have the negative around you, whether it's gonna be family members, or it's gonna be friends, or just people who now hear you or see you doing the thing and probably just don't want to give you that strength. Find strength in the people who believe in you and want to see you win, and just push forward.
Wow. Romain, thank you so much. That was absolutely awesome. Or in your words, beautiful.
Beautiful. Big up to the whole step me
Virgo.
where I listen right now. Me know I listen, I know the proud, I'm loving them. We can't wait to sooner. Yeah.
And you should be very proud of yourself. Like, it is almost like we've watched you grown up in front of our eyes, and
True,
you
man.
have You've done a tremendous job. So big up to you and
Thank
keep
you,
on
thank you,
doing it.
Kishima. And on behalf of every artist, I want to say that what you're doing right here, right now, weekly, it is amazing. So continue to, support. You continue to support the music, the culture, the artists, and that is the only way we're gonna grow. So thank you on behalf of every artist out there, the ones that you already interviewed and the ones that you're about to interview. We thank you so much, Kishima. You're doing a wonderful job, and we love you.
Thank you so much, Romain. That means a lot to me. Thank you.
No problem, man.
So hear this new song, Romain Virgo, Beautiful to Me.
I wonder why you always do that. You spend forever looking in the mirror.